Okay, so welcome, and let's get started on what are we doing? How are we flipping it up? How are we changing it? What are we going to do different now that we're entering the second 30-day stage of the 100K and 100-day? There's really only one thing that changes. So you're going to continue to make your 50 calls a day. And if you're having a challenge of who to call, talk to either Maria or I, whoever is your coach, but really it's still circle prospecting. If you have HomeBot, as we just heard some success stories from Bhati and Alex, they've had some success calling on their HomeBots. You're calling on anybody that opens the emails you're sending, you're calling on those. That's a separate group of calls, by the way. That's not part of the 50. But you're calling for buyer leads to help find your buyer potential properties. So these are all the things that we're doing with the calling. And then you're sending the one email a week. So at this point, you should be, you know you're in the second 30 days when you're starting to send that fifth email. If you've sent the first four and you're starting to send that fifth email, that's you're past the 30-day mark, because those should be going out every 7 days. And so therefore, and you're going to continue to send those emails. You're going to continue to make those calls for everybody that opens those emails. What changes is the text. Now we're going to, if you still got a bunch of people you want to send the Lazy Man CMA to, you can continue to do that. It's not that you have to stop doing it. It's just that we're hoping by now, if you've made all the calls, you've sent the emails, and you've been sending the text, you should have enough people right now. The number is 60, because we're going to do 2 unsolicited CMAs a day for the next 30 days. That's what we're pivoting on. So it's 2 unsolicited video. I may have missed that. 2 unsolicited video CMAs a day. To make this work, we have to have 60 people that you've identified that you believe would benefit from a video CMA. Homeowners who are thinking or have expressed any interest in possibly selling in the next 24 months. And so this is something that we've hopefully identified within the system already. Let's say you've identified 20 or 30. You don't have 60 yet. That's okay, because you can still send the 4 Lazy Men CMAs, or the 2 Lazy Men CMAs a day. And no, that's 4. I'm getting the 2 numbers confused. You can still send your 4 Lazy Man CMAs a day, the ZMAs, and keep doing that while you're sending out the 2 unsolicited video CMAs, and then you're going to keep building that. Let's just say that someone out there does not have 60, or doesn't even have 10 people that they have identified that might be selling in the next 24 months. This doesn't mean you can't still just send it to anybody that's in your database. So now you're going to just go through your database, and you're going to look for homeowners that you just think might benefit from this, because this video CMA is a little bit different, and it could also spur. See, this is one of those things. Before we send something out, if we don't send anything, I can guarantee, if you don't send anything and you just choose not to do this step, I can guarantee the results. If you don't send anything, nothing will happen. Guaranteed. So that's it. If you want to know the outcome of your results, don't do anything, and we know your outcome. However, if you actually send these, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if they're going to forward it to a friend. We don't know if they're going to call an uncle, an aunt, nephew, say, hey, check this out. You should get one of these. We just don't know what they're going to do if we send it. So I say, if you haven't identified the 60 key people, then just send it to 60 people. So what are we sending? Can
it be like the HomeBot people, like the HomeBot people that open, like the list that we get every Mondays?
It can totally be HomeBot people, because what you could do in that case is you could tell people that you want to check in on the HomeBot AI, and let's compare the valuations of what you came up with to what the HomeBot valuation is. And if it's off, then let's reset your HomeBot so that it's more accurate. So absolutely, you can send this to HomeBot people. As a matter of fact, I tell everyone that's using HomeBot, you should be reaching out to every one of your clients that's on HomeBot a minimum of once a year to ask them if they'd like to do a in-depth report, so that we can check how the AI is doing and reset it if necessary. Every year you should be doing that anyways. this is a great opportunity to do it for the first time. So once we've created that list, remember, it's going to be a total of 60 people, but eventually, but you're just going to start with 2 a day. Then you've got to figure out a platform you're going to record the video in. Now, I personally use a program called Loom, Loom. It's a Chrome extension. And let's see here, Loom right here. So I'm going to go, so you can see as my screen just switched, it said, okay, do I want to start recording my screen? With Loom, now you can use BombBomb. If you have a BombBomb subscription, you can use any screen recorder out there that you're comfortable with. I'm just going to, the 2 I'm very familiar with are BombBomb and Loom. I've always used Loom, Loom. With Loom, you're going to notice, so now you can see I show up as a bubble on the screen. So as you're recording, you can be talking to your client as a bubble on the screen. This is extremely distracting for me. I was trying to give this and watching myself talk as I'm talking on this screen and everything. So I'm going to turn it off for my purposes. But you can see that you can turn on a bubble where you are talking to your client. Definitely, I highly recommend doing that. But for me, extremely distracting to try to give this webinar. So I'm turning it off.
Can you do that on a cell phone, or is that on a piece, like a
You're going to want to do this on a PC, on a computer. Because then the next thing you're going to do, so I would hit start recording and it would record my screen and would have that bubble and all of that would be happening because you're recording this for your client. That is the goal. Okay. I am going to turn that off for now because I don't. Okay. So now, what are you recording? The first thing you're going to intro with, and you can be talking while you're doing this, just say, hey, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan, I just wanted to reach out to you today. I was doing some research on properties in your neighborhood, and I thought you might want, I was doing some research for a client of mine in your neighborhood. Your property came up on a list as a property that I was using as a comparable for their property or something. So I was doing some research. I thought you'd like to see what I found. Okay, that could be a potential script you could use. Then you're going to go to Google Earth, and as you're talking, I'm just going to use, and then you're going to, as you're saying this, this is your intro. You're using Google Earth to zoom in on the property like that. This is very eye-catching, and they're not going to leave right off the bat. You're going to say, I've identified your property here on 18 Mondstadt. Just wanted to bring to your attention what's going on around your neighborhood. Then you're going to flip over to a Google map. And on this Google map, you will have a saved map that you'll have uploaded. And I'm just going to, here's one I did for a different client. And you can see how the map populates with all the properties on here. Now, I was doing this for a buyer that was looking for either properties on the MLS or not on the MLS. But you would then say, here's all the active properties. You could potentially put pending. I don't know if you have access to the pending properties in the MLS, or you can put all the sold properties. So you could have 2 to 3 categories. You upload them, you color code them, and then you identify what those properties are. And you say, these are all the properties that are currently affecting the values of homes in your neighborhood. So you create this map. If you're not sure how to create a custom Google map, because I won't have time to do that in this webinar, I have a video on step-by-step instructions of how to do that. And so you would just text me or Coach Maria, and we can direct you to where that is in Discord. It's already in Discord, but if you're not sure where to find it, I can help you with that.
I need help.
Okay. Shocking. But at least you're not shy to ask. Others are going to sit there and say like, well, you know what? I don't know what he's talking about, but I don't want to ask. Okay. So you're going to do the map, and then you're going to flip over to either a MLS report, or you're going to flip over to a title report. Now, an MLS report, I'm going to skip over all the pages that don't matter. An MLS report is going to be much better because you can have active properties, whereas a title report like this one, you're not going to have anything that's active. You only have solds. But you're going to scroll down to, I think I'm in the right place. all of the properties that sold, and you can and then highlight some key features. Where's the summary? The summary, there it is. So you could tell them, hey, look, I'm just checking your area, and of course we have, where's the, oh, here it is. Median value is 1.2 million. You had the lowest was 1.1, the highest was 1.5. You could even go into something to the effect of, let's take a look at what those were. Here's all the detailed information, or you can scroll back up to this and just say, okay, there's the 1.1, and as we can see, 570 square feet. You just talk about the property, and you just like discuss as you would if you were in a listing presentation, a little quick summary of what the property is, and then you're going to end it with a summary of, so I believe your property's value is going to be somewhere between this and this. Well, obviously it's between those two numbers for sure. And so, and then you would offer to invite, you're doing all this on video. Then you're going to offer to invite to have a meeting with them so that you can come and see their home and narrow the price down to what the actual value is in the in market right now for their property. You're going to end the video with that offer that you can sit down. Oh, by the way, I was going to say something to the effect of, just text me back here or email me back. Oh, these are emails. Email me back. And what time is good for you in the next 2 weeks or in the next week? I have Thursday available if any time works for you on Thursday, something to that effect. Then you end it, and then you hit send. Now, whatever you send it through, you want to send it through some sort of a system that can track open rates. You want to know if they open it. Oh, there's two things about this. One is that you want to send it through something you can track open rates. And according to Jimmy Mackin, he has said that he did in a sample test he did for Tom Ferry, he started getting an 80% open rate. And he decided, where is it? Track.
You can send it out to Follow Up Boss.
Here it is. Yeah, Follow Up Boss, I believe, tracks it for sure. And title each video with the homeowner's address. So in this case, it'd be 18 Mondstadt, and valuation update. Valuation update. So 18 property address, valuation update. That subject line got the highest open rate. And that's it. That is really the only thing we're switching on. So then you're following the open. You have to send it to something you can track. When they open it, you can follow it up with a phone call. I just wanted to make sure you received it. And I wanted to know if there were any questions I could answer for you. And listen to the way I said that. I wanted to know if there were any questions I could answer for you. If you ask them, do you have any questions? That makes them sitting there thinking about what questions they might have instead of, well, do you have anything? Is there anything I can answer for you? That's even better. Don't use the word questions. Is there anything I can answer for you? Because if you say, is there anything I can do for you? It's different than you saying, what can you do for me? If you do you have any questions for me is one thing versus, is there anything I can do for you? So is there anything I can answer for you? I know it's a small, little, tiny difference in what you're saying, but it makes a huge difference in the way they receive it. Versus you asking them to do something for you versus you offering to do something for them. Okay, that's it, the summary. Any questions?
I have a question. So is this going to be emailed or text?
Emailed. Now we switch to email on this one because this is where they found we can get to an 80% open rate on this.
Usually the problem is with emails, at least with our mailing system, they're always too long and it doesn't allow us to mail them. I mean, I just did a simple video thanking people for coming to our open house the other day, and I was unable to email it.
You're not, okay, so if you use BombBomb or Loom, both of them, they are made for emailing and texting the videos, because you're not actually texting the video or emailing the video, you're emailing a link to the video.
I see.
Okay. So the video remains on Loom.
Okay.
And so therefore, when you email it, when they click the link, anybody here that watched if you remember, because everybody here probably got a video from myself or Maria when you've onboarded with us, and when you click that link, it took you to Loom. As a matter of fact, many of you made comments on that. I emailed that 9-minute long video via email because it was a link back to Loom, and then you watch it there, and then people can comment and whatever. By the way, if you use Loom or BombBomb, you can check if they watched the video. You'll know.
So if you're using Follow Up Boss, you're just connecting your Loom to Follow Up Boss?
No, you don't have to connect it. You're just going to take the link that's in Loom. You're going to copy the link, and you're going to copy it into the text or into your email that you're sending to the client.
Got it.
Okay.
I think if not, I'll harass you.
Of course.
How
I
long
love the harassment.
How long should this video be?
Keep it under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes.
If you could do it in a minute.
Said.
Well, I was demonstrating how to do everything. Remember, you're talking while the Google Earth is working. Then you're going to just switch to the Google Map and show them a visual. That's it. You're not that isn't there for long. Then you go straight to the CMAs, and then you just do a quick listing presentation of the CMA, and then the valuation, and you're done. It really should be 45 seconds to a minute.
Do you already have one that